Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Whippet Health Foundation YouTube channel. My name is Dr. Lisa Costello, and I am a member of the Board of Directors for the Whippet Health Foundation. I'm also one of the data operators for the Whippet Health Foundation Database. In this video, I'm going to show you how to input litter information, including the sire, the dam, the breeder, how the litter was bred, how it was whelped, and the puppies in that litter. So let's get into it. This is the home page for the Whippet Health Foundation. To access the database, you're going to go up here to the corner to the red database button. Click on Go to Database. This is the home screen for users that are logged in as guests. The data operators, myself and one other person at this time, click here. But this is the page where you're going to do your work. If you have not seen the general overview video, I do recommend that you go through it so you can understand what these different tabs are and how to navigate through the database. To submit data, we go to this button, and I've already done a video showing how to input individual dog information and individual human information. So today we're going to put in litter information. So I am the submitter. I put my information in here, but I am not the breeder. So I'm going to say that I am an owner of one of the puppies in the litter. You might be a co-breeder. Whatever your relationship is to the litter, you need to put it in here because information needs to be entered by either the breeder or the owner of the dog. If this litter were already in the database, we would read this blue wording that says, if this is an update to a litter already in the database, click the checkbox here, and then you would enter the litter ID number, and then you would enter any data that you wanted to change. Usually that information is changed on the individual dog pages, but if you had something to change like a breeder or something, you would do that here by clicking this box. But because this is going to be an initial litter, I'm going to leave that blank. I am not the breeder. The breeder is Bobby Mason of Mason Hill Whippets, and I do not know her street address, so I'm just going to put down that she is in Illinois. Bobby's actually in the database, so I can populate that information later. She also does not live in Argentina. She might wish that she did, but she's in the United States. So what I really want to show you is how to put in litter information. So you've got a breeder here. And just another thing before we go on. Currently, there's no place to put a co-breeder or co-breeders. We do have a line on the individual dog submission form for co-owners. So I've contacted the webmaster to ask him if he could put in a box here for co-breeders. I normally don't operate in this screen. I do it in a different one. So I wasn't familiar with how you guys are putting in data. So I'm learning a lot as I go through this. If you do have a co-breeder right now and you're utilizing this, I'm going to suggest that you put it down here in the additional comments box. And I'll repeat that when we get down there. So this litter was whelped in 2013, November the 5th. The litter registration number is HP 465372. Sire's registered name, Willoughby Cowpoke Caleb. Caleb is his name. And his registration number, there we go. And the dam is Mason Hill Purely Platinum, whose name is Roxy. And that's her registration number. It's very helpful if you can put all of this information in about the sire and dam because they may not be in the database. They don't have to be in the database for you to put in this litter. If they're not, then we create a litter for you with this. So it's pretty important to get this information. Registration number really helps because then we can tie them to other litters. So the insemination for this was actually natural, and she whelped naturally. And there were, let's see, we've got 1, 2, 3. We had 2 males and 4 females. Stillborn males and females would be puppies that are dead at birth, and neonatal death males and females describe puppies that were born alive but died before 8 weeks of age. So again, stillborn males, stillborn females would be pups dead at birth. Neonatal female and male death would be puppies that died before 8 weeks of age. So there was 0 in this litter. So there was a total of 6 puppies. And this is where you input the puppy information. So this is not an exhaustive list of all the colors, all of the information that we have on the individual dog certification. This is simply pretty limited puppy information so we can create a litter, and then I'll show you how you go into those individual dog pages to change that info. So if you put a litter in before you have registered names, you can just put in call names, the sex, the color, and then you can go back in and fill in the rest of this once you have that information. Most of the people fill it in after they have the registration numbers on the pups and their registered names. So the first puppy is Mason Hill. Are you talking to me? Registration number HP 465 73201. Not a limited registration. Yes, AKC. Call name Sassy. Female. And she is white and fawn brindle. Pup number 2. Mason Hill Girl Talk. HP 465 320. I'm missing something here. 465 73205. And her name is female, and she was fawn brindle. There. Okay, register puppy Mason Hill Pillow Talk at Laurel. 465 73202. Call name Jezebel, female, fawn. This was Mason Hill. Talk is cheap. HP 465 73206. No, nobody was on a limited registration here. That was Liam as a male, and he was a fawn. So again, you're not able to put in markings, scissor bite, weight, any of that. That will be put in on this individual's dog page. So putting in the litter creates an individual dog page for each one of the puppies. I guess that was another point that I didn't say. So we'll show you that when we're done inputting this. Mason Hill, talking night, HP 465 73204. No. Sylvie, female, she was a fawn brindle. And then Mason Hill talking to the moon. Moon. No. And he is white and fawn brindle. Okay, so there's all of our puppies, all 6. There's a range to go down to 12. If you have more than that, you can let us know. Again, if you have a co-breeder, I would go ahead and put it in this box, and then we can enter that later. And actually, there was a co-breeder on this. Stephanie Mason Dyka. So again, basically the paragraph says that you're stating that the above data is correct and accurate, that you're submitting it to the Whippet Health Foundation, and that you're allowing us to use it in accordance with Whippet Health Foundation policies, and you're either an owner or a breeder associated with this litter. If you have questions, you can always contact us at healthdata@whippethealth.org. At the end of this video, I will show you several other ways that you can email us if you have questions. But let's go ahead and submit data. Once you do that, you're going to get this green message. Information was successfully sent to the Whippet Health Foundation. Our operators will have your information entered into the database within a few days. So what does that mean? If you haven't seen the prior videos, this database is not a live database like the Whippet archives. When you hit submit, it doesn't automatically go live on the website, so you can go look for it right now. This information is sent to the data operators. There are currently 2 of us. We then go through the information looking for misspellings, mistakes, anything that we have any questions about. You'd be surprised how often we get that. And we want to review the information to be sure of its accuracy. We don't add anything in, we don't change anything without talking to the submitter. Mainly, it's just to be sure that the data is clean when we put it into the database. So I'm going to see, we've gotten my email yet that shows, yeah, here it is. So this is what it looks like on my end as a data operator. This is what I just submitted. Shows my relationship to why I'm putting it in, the breeder, the sire and the dam, the number of puppies surviving, and then each one of the pups here. So what I will do then is I will take this information and I will put it into the database. And once I do that, I'm going to show you what it looks like. I'll find it another way. This is actually a litter of my own dog, in case you are wondering why I chose this. So this is what it comes up like. This is the litter. We've got the registration number for the litter, the registry. That brings up the thought that if you are sending in a foreign registered litter, like Canada doesn't have an actual litter registration number, so usually I will just put Canada in this area so you know where it's coming from. If it's a litter that doesn't have an overall arching number, I'll usually just put the country into the registration number so people know where it's coming from. And then we would have the registry here. Whelp date. So whelp dates are only associated with litters. When you submit a dog and you want to put in their whelp date, you can't do that unless that dog is part of a litter that's in the database. So whelp dates are only linked to existing litters. Here is our sire. Here is our dam. And then natural breeding, natural birth method, males, females, etc. So down here on the tabs, you have the dogs that we put in. Come back to that in a minute. You have the breeders, and I had already put Stephanie in. And then interestingly, you would have litters by sire and litters by dam. So if you're looking at litters and you're curious about what these dogs have produced outside of this, you can find that fairly easily. Breeders, could view them, dogs owned by them, litters bred by them. It's all very nicely connected. So let's go back to the dogs. So let's say that you entered this litter before you had registration number information, or maybe you didn't have a registered name, but you just had, say, Sassy. So then you could go see, putting in the litter creates this dog's page. And then you can go in and you could modify this information, or you could submit new information to an existing record. And I went over that in the individual dog submission video. So it's pretty easy to submit data for a litter. Pretty straightforward. You're not going to provide a ton of puppy information here. This just gets the pages generated and then you can fill them out from there. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact us at this address, healthdata@whippethealth.org. You can also contact us through comments@whippethealth.org. And I am also in the database. And my contact information is here. So you're welcome to email me at any time to ask questions. If you're struggling to put in the information, if you don't know how, don't remember, just let us know. We're here to help. If this is really something that's just insurmountable, which it is for some people, you can also email me the information and I can put it in for you. So either way, we really like to have litters on all of the dogs in the database if possible. And if you do have it, then this is what it can lead to. If you've got all of that information, then it can generate a pedigree for you. And that's because we've linked all of these dogs to these litters. So it's pretty neat, the data that you can create with this. That's about it for this video. If you have any questions, please let us know. I appreciate you watching the videos. I hope that this helps people enter information. And I will see you for the next video. Thank you.